All right, so we're recording now. Welcome, everybody. This is our team athlete briefing for the IF3 Continental Cup. You guys will compete on Friday. All the teams are this coming Friday. We're really excited to be having this event this year. I know we'd obviously like to be doing this in person and having all of you together, but we're glad we can still have some event for this season, and we're really excited to see all of you compete. So congratulations on being selected to represent your country, and I wish all of you guys the best of luck. I'm going to just lay out a couple ground rules, and then you're going to hear more from Anders and Veronique throughout this. They're going to give you the actual briefing, and I'm just going to kind of be reading out questions from the chat. So how this is going to work, I have everybody muted for now, so please stay muted. There's just too many of us on here to have you guys have your mics on. We won't be able to hear each other. So stay muted. If you do have a question, Veronique's going to take time to stop for questions as she goes through the standards and the flow. So it's easiest if you write the question in the chat instead of unmuting yourself. So if you haven't used Zoom before, if you're on your computer, if you just kind of use your mouse and scroll over sort of at the bottom of your screen, a little bar should pop up that says chat, and you can click on that chat. You can type and just send your message and your question to the group, and then I'll read it out loud because the chat won't show up in the recording when we post it on YouTube. I'll read out the question and then whoever will answer it for you. So that's kind of how we'll communicate, and you can make sure, well, I guess stay muted so we don't have to worry about unmuting yourselves. That's about it. And we'll try to make sure we get everybody's question answered. I did put in the chat already a link to a Google Drive document. This document should be being sent to you by your country managers, and Anders will talk about this more, but it's all the preliminary information you will need. Again, your team manager should have received this. Anders sent that to them already, and they'll be sending it on to you. But if you want to reference it while we're talking, there's the link to it through Google Drive, and you can look at it there as well if you have questions while Anders talks about that. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Anders. I know his connection is a little tough right now, so hopefully he'll be able to talk. Otherwise, I'll have to fumble through it. But Anders is our Secretary General of the IF3. He's also our event organizer for this event. And he's going to talk to you just a little bit about kind of the technical side, the really important deadlines for getting your scores in, and also your videos, how to submit those. So I guess that's it. Anders, take it away.
Hi guys. Yeah, like Gretchen said, my connection is really crappy right now, so I'm trying to move around the house to find the best sweet spot for me to talk. But I think I'm pretty good right here in the kitchen. All right. Most of you guys we met just an hour ago or 2 hours ago. But for those of you that didn't go to the individuals meeting, hello, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and whatever time you're in. It's really awesome to see you guys here. This will be, we've never done this before. We did the World Cup a couple of weeks ago. Congrats, Anders Gunsund, on the win in the men's division. We did that as a live streaming thing, as an experiment. And that was fun, but it was not optimal because we noted that a lot of athletes had issues with their internet connections, and the streaming it wasn't always as good as we would have wanted it. So that's why we were going to ask you this time to record your workouts instead of live stream. That means that you will have a 2-hour video that we will require that you upload immediately after you're done with the event. So 15 minutes after the event is done, you must submit the scores through the email address provided in the sheet, in the athletes package. That's an absolute. You have 15 minutes. It's just 6 lines of text. I don't need any pictures of the scorecards. I don't need any signatures. I don't need anything else. Just 6 lines of text saying test 1 and what score you have, test 2 and what score that was, and test 3 and so on. So you need to do that immediately after. And then I would advise you to just upload the video as soon as you can, because we need that within 2 hours of your finalizing your event. And the link is also in the package. It's a WeTransfer link. We have the Pro plan, so you can upload 20 gigabytes of data each, which should be enough. I think that the 2-hour video will be about 2 or 3 gigabytes. So it will take some time for you to upload, but you should be able to do that within the deadline. So please make sure that you do that immediately after you're done, because we need to take care of it. I'm going to take it in. I'm going to do some nice editing, add some graphics, make it a little bit exciting. We're going to add some commenting, and then we will broadcast it the next day. So on the Friday, teams will perform, and we will show that on YouTube on the Saturday. And on the Saturday, the women will perform, and we will show that on Sunday. And on Sunday, the men will perform, and we will show that on Monday. So it's a 24-hour delay on the broadcast, which is the time we need to do the editing and everything. If you have issues of any kind during submitting scores or uploading videos, get in touch with me immediately. As soon as I know that you have issues, I'll take a note and I can address that. If you don't contact me and you don't upload things, you will be disqualified. There's plenty of time for you guys to get in touch. There's plenty of other information in the package. Like we said to all, like in the briefing a couple hours ago, we said that that all the athlete package information has been sent to the team managers. They are responsible for making sure that all the athletes get it, read it, and understand it. And we have basically all information is in there, or it's on the website with the standards and the movements, and Veronique will go through the actual tests in a little while. I don't think I have much more than that for the moment. We had a bunch of questions last time. So just hit me with questions if you have any now. I think a lot of you guys were here before, so you know most of the answers already. We are all pretty pumped about it. It's good. Any questions on the technicalities? No?
Oh, here's a question. Good one from our TO. Do you need the total or scores of each athlete? For the team, do you want like a total score for the team or individual
for
athletes?
the teams? We need. Well, I need the totals. And I mean, if you want to add it up or you want to make me do it, I don't really care about it. But for the scorecards, you have the option of adding things together. So times for I guess you're thinking of test 1, which you.
Nope, he froze. I'll answer for him then. We'll see if he comes back. For test 1, there's 3 separate times, right? It's like male athlete 1 time, female athlete 1 time, and then the row time. It's probably easy if you just send those. Oh, maybe he's back. Nope. If you send those as separate times, then he can add them up. Either way is probably fine for the other ones. The ring muscle ups, that's just a total score, right? So 1 number there. If you are doing, so if you're in a country that's going to lift in pounds for the strength test, send the weights of it's a squat clean thruster, right? So send the weights that each individual athlete gets for the squat clean thruster in pounds, and Anders is going to convert those to kilograms. So it'll be posted on with kilograms on the leaderboard, but we want to do the same conversion with everybody. So it's not like, oh, this team converted this way and whatever. This is probably applicable more to the US than anybody else. But if you lift in pounds, just send your result in pounds and we're going to convert it for you in kilograms. So the conversion's fair. For everybody. And And everything else, I'm trying to think. The test 4 should just be a time. It's one total time. Test 5 is one total time, and so is test 6. So it's really just send your separate times for test 1, separate scores for the strength for test 2. Really, those are the separate ones, and the rest are just numbers. Okay. I think Anders dropped off completely, so I'll try to see if there's anything else. But if there's no other questions, really the big thing is just make sure you're good with the deadlines. Get us those scores as soon as the competition's over. And then with the videos, get those in within 2 hours. We're using something called WeTransfer, and you'll see that if you read the athlete packet, that it's basically a website. You go to the link is in the packet. Go to that link, and it just lets you upload your file, and you click send, and it'll send it to us. And it lets you send pretty big files, so we should be fine to send that. But like I said, if you, or like Anders said, if you have any problems at all, just reach out to us immediately, and we'll help you deal with it. But if we don't hear from you, then we don't know there's a problem, and then that's not good. Okay. So I think that's it, unless anyone has any questions on the technical side. Just make sure you read the packet. It's all explained well in there. And with that, I'll turn it over to Veronique, and she's going to go over movement standards in the actual test.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Veronique. I'm Canadian Functional Fitness Federation President and also a chair at IF3 TO Comedy. So I will be doing the briefing for your event on the Friday. Since my first language is French, I will make sure my my English looks great so you will understand well. How I'm gonna proceed, I'm gonna share first my screen. Ooh, Gretchen,
sorry. Yeah, hang on.
Screen, please.
Okay, try again.
Great. So, slides, great. So briefings today, I'm gonna work is I'm gonna go through the flow of the whole event. And then I'm gonna go through the flow and standards of each test individually. I'm gonna talk about the flow of the test and then ask questions and then standards and then ask questions. So to make it easy for everyone to understand and to follow through. And then at the end, some TO's role and responsibilities and some tips for your tests. So the 2 links that are there, you can find them on the website of IF3. Those are the 2 links for the full movement standards book. So all on my PowerPoint, you can find it on the website under the tested. And then those are regular standards that are on our rule book. And the other one is the competition rule book. So anything that is about fair play, uniforms, shoes. Yeah, you need shoes to work, to do your work, your test. So make sure you wear those. And that's pretty much it. So first, flow of your event. Do we have any question there?
No, you're good for now. I think there's a standard question, but it's
so just the flow of the whole event. So your first workout, endurance, is a 22 minutes workout or ish, with a rest of 8 minutes. And then you have test 2 and 3, strength and body weight at the same time for 12 minutes with an 8-minute rest after that. Test 4, it's the first mixed. So it's a pair of 1 male and 1 female that will do the first mixed relay for 15 minutes with the 5-minute rest. And then the second pair will do the mixed relay 2 at 1 hour 10 until 1 hour 25. So for 15 minutes with another 10 minutes rest. And at the end, at 1 hour 35, you're gonna start your power test. It's a time cap, 15 minutes, and then you will get done with it and finish. Any question about the flow of the whole event? Usually not. It's pretty straight. So test by test, endurance. The first test is a 4 time, and how it's gonna work is all 4 athletes gonna perform. Gonna do 1 male athlete that will have to do 500 double unders for time. 1 female athlete that will do 500 double unders for time. And the 2 others, the other pair, 1 male and 1 female, will have to row 5K on the rower, split in between whatever, how you want it. The score is the sum of the 3 times for the 500 double unders by the male, the 500 by the female, and then the 5K row. All athletes gonna work at the same time. So for that, you're gonna need 2 TOs. 1 TOs for the male double unders, and the other one is for the female double unders. For the rower, you will have to put the 500 with the 5K going down. So on the settings on the rower, you can set a distance. So put 5,000 and then gonna go down, and then gonna have a great split time for the 5K. Rowing athletes can switch whatever they want. This is your strategy. You can do like 2,500, or switch at each 500, whatever you need. The double unders athletes only do double unders, so there's no switch between double unders and rowing. And that's pretty much it. Any question about the flow of this workout?
Is there a finish line? Was a question.
There is no finish line for this workout.
Yeah, so you'll just record, right? There'll be double under time, a double under time, and a row time. So you'll get those 3 times and then send them to Anders, and he'll worry about adding them up.
So
Yeah, because this is actually 3 separate workouts. So there's no finish line because you don't finish together. You finish separately. So the rowing is 1 time, and 1 double under is 1 time, and the other double under is another time.
So you might have 1 athlete who does the 500 double unders unbroken, and then for 4.5 minutes, and then he is done until you have to wait for his partners finish their workout.
Another question. This is more of a technical one, but athletes always looking at the camera. Yes. We want the athletes always facing the camera for whatever they're doing.
So for standards, double unders. So rope will begin on the floor. So at 3, 2, 1, go. Pick up your rope, and then you can start jump. The rope must spin forward, and then for every double unders to count, the rope has to pass twice for every jump. For the rowing, so it's a concept 2 rower. You must be seated to begin rowing. So that means that your butt must be on the seat. So you can have 1 foot on the paddles, or as long as your butt touch the seat, you can grab the handle and then start rowing. And the rower must be set to count down the 5K. Any question about the standards?
I don't see anything, so I think you can move on.
Great.
Oh, yep, question. Rope on the floor. Just a question on that for starting.
For starting, yeah. And after that is, you might use it.
And then leave it in your
So
hand. You get frustrated and throw it. Don't do that. Sorry, go ahead.
So test 2 and 3, strength and body weight, will be performed at the same time. So you have a 12-minute clock. Each athlete must find a 5 rep max squat clean thruster, and while the rest of the team is performing strict muscle up as many reps as possible. You will have a rest of 8 minutes after this. So 2 TO is needed, one for the squat clean thruster and one for the strict muscle ups. Athletes may lift, switch, whatever they need, split, as long as each athlete has a 5 rep max, and there's no minimum work requirement for the strict muscle ups, and you can change and switch as many times as you want. So you have 5 rep max squat clean thruster and then strict muscle up that is going at the same time, and each athlete must find a 5 rep max, and then the rest of the work is split as you want. Any question about that flow?
Nope, I think you're good.
Oh.
2 bars. No, I believe it's only 1 bar, because that weight is only going up. So everyone has to use the same bar. So you'll have to pick what bar you want if you're going to use a guys or a girls bar, but you only get 1 bar.
So for standards, yeah, a lot of on the squat clean thruster. So first, yep, a barbell must start on the ground, so no racking. So it's the squat clean. So start on the ground, bring it in the front track position by going through a bottom of the squat position with the hip crease of the hips go below the knee. And then with a 1 straight fluid motion, you bring the barbell in overhead position, reaching a full vertical alignment. So what is a full vertical alignment? If we go on profile, we should be able to draw a vertical line from the end to your feet, going through your elbow or shoulders, hips, knees, and feet. So it's really a straight vertical line. No jerk tight press. So you cannot redip to catch your press. It's a touch and go. It's a 5 rep. So it's a barbell cycling rep max. So it's a touch and go, no rest on the ground. It's only like a quick touch. So you have no time to regrip on the ground. 1 barbell can be used. It may start loading for the first weight. Weight can only go up. So there are no decrease. So if your attempt is no good, you can switch or retry or whatever, but you cannot decrease the weight. Team member can help, like a pit crew. So team member can help switch the weight, unloading the barbell, switching the plates and put clips on. Yes, clips must be on the barbell to reps to count. So it's a safety thing, guys. Resting during the cycling barbell. So since you cannot rest on the floor, there's a few positions where you can rest. So it's always in between reps. So you must finish your reps before you rest. So you can rest in overhead position, in front rack, or in the hang in between. No rest in the back rack position, of course. Your hands cannot leave the barbell even for regripping. So yeah, I have PPC. So imagine my barbell. So if you cannot rest here, regrip, and then go back. So first you touch your barbell, you have to do your 5 reps. And it's fun. So if you got a no rep on the 3rd repetition, just go through. It's not a 5 rep, it's not a 5 consecutive reps, it's 5 reps. So if you got 1 no reps, you can do 4, 5, and redo until you accumulate 5 good reps of squat clean thruster. So it might take you 7 reps to get 5, or you can go for 5 unbroken. Depends on if you have a no rep or not. Any question about the squat clean thruster?
I have a question. Can the athlete re-grip in the front rack position?
You cannot move you cannot leave the barbell. You cannot take off your ends from the barbell.
Yeah.
You can rest in front rack, but you cannot re-grip.
Yeah. As long as your hands are holding the barbell, it's fine, right? So if you're going from, say you're in the front rack and just your fingertips are on the bar, as you come up, right, you're going to have to re-grip to get your actual grip, but you can't take your hands off the bar.
Yeah. Any more question about the squat lean thruster?
Nope, I think that's it. That's there. You can go to strict muscle up.
Strict muscle ups. So the start is full extension of elbows and shoulder at the bottom of the rep. No kip is allowed since it's a strict muscle up. So no momentum, no help that you can make from the lower body. This is not allowed. So knees must stay locked during the whole duration of the repetition. And the last point, I'm gonna read it. If the toes pass the vertical plane at the bottom of the repetition, then athletes must pause in the fully vertical position before beginning ascent. So that's gonna create kind of a momentum at the end. So kind of referring to the toast bar. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate it right now. I'm not sure I can demo a strict muscle ups. I'm used to do it, but actually with COVID, I'm not sure yet. But what that points mean is if you go down and you let your feet like go back, that's gonna create kind of a swing. So you need to become straight, vertical, not moving, and then you can pull and go up. And there's no minimum requirement. So if an athlete of your team cannot do strict muscle ups, she is not, or he is not required to do any. So if you got like you have a monster of strict muscle up, use it as much as you can, and the strategy is yours right now. So we do not require that every athlete needs to do at least one. Is your team management. Any question about the strict muscle up?
Can the athlete climb onto a box to reach the rings?
Yep. As long as you reach the full extension before doing your pulling movement.
Okay. We have a question. We got to go back to the first test real quick for a second, Veronique. Because the flow standards, like if we look at the actual document, it says male athlete and female athlete 1 will start with their jump rope in their hands. So we had a question about that because we had said start with it on the ground, but the flow in the documents say jump rope in hand.
Actually, we have made the athletes from individual make at starter rope on the ground. That's a document from the website.
Yeah, I think it's in the test announcement document.
Okay. Well, actually, if it says in the document, we're gonna allow to start with the rope in the hand. If it's written on there, don't make sure that nobody is mixed up with that. So follow the rules from the document. So it's rope in the end for start.
Yeah, rope in hand. I just checked it too. It says rope in hand. So, all right. So rope in hand, guys, for the first test, the double under athletes can start with their rope in their hand. And we'll go back and check what it says for individual. And if it says the same thing, then we'll make sure the individual athletes know that too.
So any more question about test 2 and 3 before we move to mixed relay?
You don't see any others, so I think you're good.
So make sure, guys, for the straight muscle up, no momentum, no kick is created by the lower body. And make sure you kind of swing at the bottom of the movement. Just make sure you start like freeze and then you can pull. For the test for mixed relay, the first pair of male and female. So it's a workout that's one is working and the one is hanging. So the athlete one does 10, 7, and 4 kettlebell swings and 5 burpees in between, while the other athlete is hanging on the pull-up bar. And then when the 10, 7, and 4 is done, we switch. So athlete 2 is going to the kettlebell swings and athlete 1 is hanging. And we're gonna do that pattern 3 times with a 15 minutes time cap. So it's like a 6 round of 10, 7, 4 with 5 burpees in between. And you're gonna have a 5-minute rest. It's gonna reset before the other pair start to work out in mixed. So your score is the total of the total time to complete the full workout. So before the switch, athlete 1 must finish the 10 kettlebell swing, 5 burpees, 7 kettlebell swing, 5 burpees, and 4 kettlebell swing, 5 burpees before switching. You cannot switch in the middle of the pattern. And as said there, the hanging athlete may use any grip to hang in there. So it's prone, spination, mixed, and even one hand is allowed. Make sure you just don't touch the ground if you're going for one hand. And I'm not sure it's a great advantage on that, but it makes you, if you want to switch grip or something, you can switch grip during the hanging. So that is why this one hand is allowed. Any question about the flow before we're going to the standard?
We have, I guess this is kind of a standard question, but someone just asked about if the athlete's hanging, if they can let go of one hand or not. And you just said, yes, you can let go of one hand if you want to, or hang with one hand or change your grip.
Yeah.
And then real quick, guys, just because I think we had it mistaken on the website. The kettlebell for the men is 32 kilograms. It said 30, I think, for a little while on the website. It is 32. I don't even know if they make 30 kilogram ones, but it is 32, which is 70 pounds if you're using pounds.
Yeah. Actually, 70, 53 for the pounds weight.
Yeah. Okay, I think you're good. You can go on to standards.
So for kettlebell swings, it's the same kettlebells as the individual if you were there earlier. We have 2 standards, so no standards about elbows or shoulders or knees locked out or not. So there is nothing about locking out shoulders or elbows. It's all about the kettlebell swing. So at the top of the repetition, the bottom of the kettlebell swing must be higher than the horizontal plane of your head. So if I draw like a virtual line from the top of my hand, kettlebell swing, the bottom of the kettlebell swing must go higher than that. And at the bottom, the kettlebell swing must break the front plane of the thighs in order to count. I'm gonna go for a demo for that, guys. Yes, no.
It might be good to just do a demo because it's yeah.
Just make sure because it's a new movement. Gonna go. Whoa.
Ooh, it's dark. Yeah.
What's happening there? Is that this? I'm not sure if I can use my other camera because you don't see. Okay, I'm gonna go that way. Not sure if I can do it.
Yeah, you should be good from there.
Okay. Probably just to make sure you see the very top.
There you go.
That's it. Good, guys. So it's kind of in between Russian swing that it's a high level and American swing that is all the way over. So it's just in between.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, we have a question about burpee standards, but you haven't talked about burpees yet, have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Going there.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and then I'll read the question later.
So burpees, it's regular burpees. So chest on the ground in prone position, so chest. And then jump over the kettlebell swing must be with 2 feet. So no full extension is allowed. You can lay down on 1 foot, but take off with 2. You can step back and step up. That is all good, as long as you go fully to the ground, come up, jump with 2 feet over the kettlebell, and that's it. Pretty standard burpees. But we always have question about burpees.
Yeah, the question is, for the jump of the burpee, do they have to be exactly over the kettlebell, or is there some kind of wiggle room if they're not exactly over it since it's small?
Yeah, actually make it as much as possible over the kettlebell because we want the height. So the thing with jumping over the kettlebell is we needed a higher jump. So if your heels come off because the kettlebell is small or something, that's good as long as you jump. So do we see? I'm gonna try to do it. So your burpees, as long as you jump over, that's good. If your heels like is a little off the kettlebell, that's fine as long as you jump over it as much as possible.
Stay there because someone asked to see if they could do if you can do the kettlebell demo again because they lost connection during your demo. Except you might have to tilt your camera up a little. Sorry. There you go.
All good.
So it's kind of like a halfway between the Russian and American swing. You just have to break that straight line that's like out from the top of your head, right?
And just to make sure, on the kettlebell swings, your elbows can be bent. They don't have to unnecessarily be locked out for the swing.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You can even press out if you need to. So sometimes you're like bending and pressing out. This is good too. We just need the height and the frontal plane of the thighs.
I think that's it for questions on that one.
Great. Mixed relay 2, it's the same kind of workout. So one working, one hanging.
Oh. Sorry, there was one question. I missed a question, my fault, before you go on. Someone asked about tagging between partners and rounds, but we don't have any rules on tagging. So you just can't start your work. Whoever is the working partner can't start until the holding partner, right? Or in this next one, the handstand partner is up doing their thing. But there's no tagging requirement.
Yep. So mix relay 2, the same kind of pattern of workout, one working and one, actually it's not hanging, it's holding this one.
Oh yeah.
So it's toes to bar and handstand hold. At least does 12 toes to bar, 25 double unders, 9 toes to bar, 25 double unders, 6 and 25, and then switch. So athlete 1 is doing toes to bar and double unders, while athletes 2, it's facing wall handstand position. Okay. And then when the 12.96 with the 25 with the boners is done, we're switching. And then we do that again for 3 times. So it's like a full 6 round of 12, 25, 9, 25, 6, and 25, while they are a facing wall hold. It's another 15-minute time cap. So score is the total time of to complete the workout. And as the mixed relay 1, you cannot switch during the 3 rounds of toes to bar and the boulders. You have to finish the three sets before making the switch. Any question about the flow?
So just to make sure I understand correctly, so for the switch, one athlete does 12:25, 9:25, 6:25, and then they switch, just to make sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the same way as the mixed relay 1, before starting the work, the athlete that is holding or hanging must be in position before the work start. So on mixed relay 1, athlete must be hanging on the pull-up bar, and for mixed relay 2, athletes must be in facing wall and stand position.
We have a question. Maybe this is more of a standards question. So actually, you haven't got there yet. Never mind.
Great. So make it quick. For the double unders is the same as in the first workout, the first test. So rope must spin forward and must pass twice for every jump in order to count. Toes to bar, regular toes to bar, guys. So you start with a hanging position, lock out about of the elbow and shoulder, and then you must bring your 2 feet at the pull-up bar at the same time. So the touch must be both feet at the same time in between ends. And of course, you must break the vertical plane with your heels, which make your hips in full extension. Any question about the toes to bar?
I don't see any.
So no need to demo either. It's like regular thing, guys.
I think we're good.
Great. And instant hold, I might show this one. So it's against the wall. It's no freestanding. It's stomach facing the wall. So it's not touching the wall. It's facing the wall. Only the toes may touch. And you may adjust your hand during the hold as long as it will remain in the box that will be 1 meter away from the wall and 1 meter wide. What I'm going to do is going to show you right behind me. I'm going to stop sharing that just to make sure you see what it looks like. I have chalk so I can draw. Kind of this. It's pretty wide, guys.
Yeah.
Try it. Looks like this. So actually, athletes have to stay here. So you can move hands on one side as long as you stay in the box. Is that good?
Yeah.
Just show you the square on the ground. And it was it look like. It's 1 meter per 1 meter.
All right, so questions. This was kind of answered already, but someone asked about the size of the box. So it's 1 meter by 1 meter, which is a little bigger than your normal handstand push-up box. So you got a lot of space. And yes, someone asked about moving hands and feet. So yes. And the next question, someone asked if they can use boxes for their handstands so they don't have a wall behind the rig. So I think they just want to set up like a fake wall with boxes. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, Veronique, as long as they're safe. But
Make sure it doesn't move.
yeah.
Keep you safe. For athletes from United States, it's like 3 feet 3 inches by 3 feet 3 inches.
The box is plenty big, guys. I doubt you will need that much space. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Oh, yep.
Yeah, my bad. I arrived a little bit late to this, and sorry to backtrack, but I just wanted to make sure for the event in the thrusters, are the women allowed one bar and the men another, or is it just one bar for the whole team?
One bar for the whole team on the thrusters.
Okay, and we can either choose the 35 or the 45s?
Yeah, you guys can pick the bar that you want to use.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Just make sure you remember which one you picked when you're writing down your weights.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Sorry, we have one more question come in, Veronica, on the handstand before you move on.
Yep.
The question is, do the hips and knees have to be extended in the handstand?
Well, actually, it's an instant, guys. It's a really, well, actually making kind of easy instant hold. Well, we don't need actually like really great alignment. You don't need to like a regular back facing instant hold. We don't need like that straight line. But you're athletes, guys. You're real athletes. So make sure it looks like a plank kind of. The box is pretty wide. You have enough space, and make it straight. Make it straight. You can do this.
I think that's it. If you don't see any other questions, you can go on to the last one.
Yes, and just to remember, Jose, just make sure you make the rep, the rep count on the thruster. So if you use a 45 or 35, make sure the sum is great. You make the right sum.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Don't get mixed up. Cool. So last workout, it's team strategy. So it's for time. It's a 2 round for time with 15 minutes time cap, 400-meter row, 21 thrusters, 15 bar muscle ups, and 9 cleans anyhow for time. So score is total time to do both rounds. So team strategy here is each team must choose which athletes will do what movement. So it's 1 athlete on the row, 1 athlete on the thrusters, 1 athlete on bar muscle ups, and 1 athlete on the cleans. And it's kind of, any no more workout, you cannot move to the next movement until the work is done. So athletes on the thrusters must wait from the 400 meters row to be done before starting the thrusters. And so you need to wait for the go of the TO for that workout. So there's no switch, and you can choose men or women to do the weight. It's only 1 weight. So there's no weight for women and a weight for men. There's only 1 weight for the thrusters, 1 weight for the cleans, and you decide which team partner will do which movement. This is the last one, and after that you will be done. Any question about the flow?
We have a question. Someone asked this one about 2 barbells, 1 for the thrusters and 1 for the cleans. Yeah, for this setup, you will have 2 bars for this one.
Yeah.
So for that flow, would one person be waiting at their respective station, or will there be like a relay? So once, if you need a tag in order to commence the other movement.
Actually, the athletes must wait the go from the TO to start their movement.
Yeah. So no tagging. They don't have to tag, but the TO will tell them, okay, he's done rowing, you can go, but they can be standing by their bar, right? So the person's rowing, let's say they finish their 400, the TO turns and says, okay, go, and the thruster guy can pick up his bar. He can be standing there. So there's not a specific start or finish line, and there's no tagging.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. And is it optional to use 15 or 20 kilogram bars on this test? Yeah, there's not a specific rule about it. So I guess you can pick based on who is doing what movement, right? But just make sure you have the correct weight on the bar.
And I would suggest for that workout to put one TO on the rowing and the bar muscle ups, and then one TO on the thrusters and the cleans. So when the thrusters is working out, the TO from the rowing can go to the bar, to the pull-up bar for the bar muscle ups. And then when the bar muscle up is occurring, the TO from the thrusters can go to the other barbell for the cleans, and then all movement will be judged, and you only need 2 TOs. Standards? Yep. So for the row, same thing from the endurance. So concept 2 rower, you must be seated on the rower while you row, and in order to row before you row. The rower machine must be reset at 0 before the other 400 meters. So it's the job of the TO to reset the rowing machine. For the thrusters, athlete supports in the barbell in the front rack position and reach the bottom of a squat and go up in a fluid motion until the barbell gets fully overhead with elbows, shoulders, hips, and knees in full extension, making a vertical alignment. As said, in the squat clean thruster is the same kind of movement, and jerk type press is not allowed. And of course, you can squat clean the first rep. It's all good as long as you reach the bottom of the squat. Any question at all about row and thrusters before we go on bar muscle ups and cleans?
I don't see any, so I think you're good.
So bar muscle ups are regular bar muscle ups. And you must start in a full vertical hang, so elbows and shoulders in full extension, and you must reach a fully lockout. So fully lockout, it's elbows locked over the pull-up bar, and you cannot wrap yourself. You cannot rest on the pull-up bar at the top before your dip. So it's one movement. So it's not a get over the bar and then dip. And pull over is not allowed. Keeping is allowed, of course. And that's pretty much it about bar muscle ups. Any question about those?
I don't see any. I think you're good.
Good. And clean. So the fourth athlete is doing cleans. Any style of clean, so muscle clean, power clean, squat clean is allowed. You just must reach a full extension of the knees and hips in the front rack position at the top before lowering down the barbell. So if it's a easy weight for you, what I usually see as a TO is when the athlete is doing his thing. Sometimes they're going like too fast before dropping and the hips are not fully extended. So make sure you're fully extended the hips before you're going back to your clean work. And of course, you must show elbow in front of the barbell. Any question about the cleans?
I don't see questions for the clean, but we had a muscle up question come in where people could use a glide kip technique.
Yeah, as long as your feet doesn't go at the height of the pull-up bar. So don't just want to sorry, I just don't want to see feet at the same height as the pull-up bar. That would be a no rep.
That's the last question I see. So I think you can move on.
Great. So it's more about for the TOs now. So TOs work is not to coach, is to reinforce standards. So you guys are responsible for moving and achieving the standards, and TOs are quality control. So all they want to see is standards met. So if they are not met, they're gonna call it no rep. So if there are any TOs on the line, just guide the TO through the workout, give the amount of reps that needed to be done before switching, or just guide them through the workout. Make sure the workout is respected in order in number of reps. If there are any no reps, if you can cue them on the watch which standard they have not met, that would be great. If you can like make the official move of no rep, that would be great for the video. So when you're gonna edit, people know if there any no rep is occurring or not. You're gonna see on the package the positioning of the camera and the TOs, which is best for the camera and for the athletes, but usually is like at 45 degrees and 8 feet away from the athletes. So the TO can see the whole body moving. And if you can just make the sign of the last 5 reps, that would be great. Again, mostly for the broadcasting. And that's pretty much it.
We did a question, sorry, Veronique, we had a question come in again about test 2, the strength test.
Yeah.
Where the bar is allowed to increase in weight only and not decrease. So, yep, that's correct. So you guys need to think about it. Make sure you know that your weaker athletes are going to have to lift first, because once that bar goes up, you can't bring it back down, right? So make sure you guys strategize on that and figure out what you want your jumps to be so that everyone gets a lift in, because the weight can only increase. So make sure you start low enough for your weaker athletes to get their number in. I think that's it. If anyone has any last minute questions, put them in the chat. Oh, sorry.
I can just add what I was supposed to say when my internet connection stopped before. The only thing that I was going to say was actually that we want the athletes to stay in the 6x6 area as much as possible. So in the best in the ultimate world, everybody will always stay inside the 6x6, but it could happen that someone needs to go to the bathroom or something. Of course, you will be allowed to do that, but please make all the athletes stay in the 6x6, and you can have other people help reset equipment in between the tests. So when you have resting periods, other people can help you load barbells and whatever you want to do. But in the actual test time, no one else in the 6x6 except for athletes and the TO. Yeah. And so what we're going to do when we collect all these videos, like I said, you have the 2 hours to upload the videos. What we're going to do is try to make some, make something look nice, which means that probably not everybody will be visible all the time when we do the recordings or do the videos. So, but we'll try to make it look pretty in some way. That's what I had.
Excellent. Awesome, guys. Well, if any questions come up during the week, please let us know. It's better. We'd rather have you ask than have you be confused or do the wrong thing. So all our contact info is in the athletes packet, which your country managers all got in an email, and they should send that to you. It's also in the very beginning of the chat as a Google Drive link. But make sure you read through that, because that just has all the technical info in it, right? About the videoing, getting the scores in, all of that stuff. And we just want to make sure you guys feel comfortable with that, so that you can just have to worry about performing your best. We wish you guys a great, safe, and fun competition, and we will see you later this week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See ya. Have a
Bye.
good week.